And in fact, this whole unit's going to be basically on, and you're going to find it funny because today we don't have any parallel lines, but the theme of this chapter is actually parallel lines and stuff we can do with parallel lines. But before we get to that, we have to talk about something called the transversal. Did I throw my notes somewhere? Give me 1 second. Transversal is going to be the name of the game moving forward. Transversal. So understand what it is. All you need to be a transversal is you need to be a line that intersects two lines at distinct points. So you need to be a line that intersects two other lines. Maybe I could put two other. I think we get that, but I can put it in there. So if I look at that picture there, is there a line that intersects two other lines? Yes. So this would be my transversal. That's all you have to be a transversal. I usually just put a T by it because we're going to be labeling it a lot. What is our transversal? Now, it seems easy enough, but it's going to get more difficult than that in the future. But what I want to note is this transversal, when it intersects two lines, it creates 8 angles. And we can pair up, I guess we could put that there. So the diagram shows the 8 angles that are formed by a transversal and its two lines. I have L and M listed there, so I guess we could call these L and M if we wanted to. Now, the first thing we're going to talk about is the shaded area. If I want to talk about these 4 specific angles, because they're really important, it's very important to locate whether you're between the lines or outside the lines. Anything that's between these two lines that's shaded in is called the interior. This is called the interior. So I'm inside. I'm kind of inside. I'm between these two lines. Anyone want to guess what the outside would be called? If we have an interior, we're going to have an exterior. So above and below are known as your exteriors. Exterior and exterior. So if I ask for an exterior, you have to look at above and below. You're going to have to hold on, okay? Just skip it and move on. Okay, so we have interior, exterior, and exterior. So exterior can happen above or below. I do want to point out, this can be flipped. So don't go exteriors above and below. This could be flipped. It could be left to right. It could be kind of cockeyed where it's top right, top left. So don't say this is the only way you can draw it. We can have up and down as well. All right, so if I had to name all of the interior angles, we just list ones that are in this shaded section that are between those two lines. Those are 4 angles. That's 3, 4, 5, and 6. And remember, be in the habit of putting angle symbols. So I have angle 3, angle 4, angle 5, and angle 6. Naming all 4 exterior angles, that should be 1, 2, 8, and 7. Angle 1, angle 2, angle 7, and angle 8. Now, we can start partnering up these. Now, it doesn't seem important today. When we get to parallel lines, you're going to realize why we learned all these specific terms. So we're going to start pairing up the angles into 3 different sections. That's alternate interior, same side interior, and corresponding angles. So we really focus on those interior ones a little bit, minus corresponding. So the first thing we're going to talk about is alternate interior angles. Those are non-adjacent interior angles that lie on opposite sides of the transversal. So they have to be on the interior, and they have to be on opposite sides of the transversal and on opposite lines. They meet a lot of requirements. So 4 and 3 would not be alternate interior angles. Instead, just like I have it shaded in, it would be 4 and 6. They're on opposite sides. They're both on the interior, but they're on opposite lines forming it. So an example of an alternate interior angle would be angle 4 and angle 6. What would be another example of alternate interior angles? Joseph?
Angle 3 and 5.
Angle 3 and 5 would also work. Does anyone see any other alternate interior angles? You could probably look at my colors and...
Can you re-explain this? It's kind of like...
Yeah. So it has to be, so they're non-adjacent. So 4 and 3 are adjacent, so they can't be that. And they have to be on opposite sides of the transversal. So this is my transversal, right? So maybe it would help if I drew a little picture on there. So if I'm looking at angle 4, to be an alternate interior, it also has to be on the interior, but it has to be on the opposite sides of the transversal. The only one that meets that bill is 6, because we can't use 3 because that would be adjacent. So we kind of have this bottom left, top right across this. These are alternate interior angles. Is that a little clearer? So if I ask you what's the alternate interior angle for 3, you'd go, oh, that's 5. Other side, non-adjacent.
And then it would be... I was looking at the next one, but it's...
Next one is
same side, yeah.
same side interior. Still, they cannot be adjacent, and they have to be on the same side of the transversal. Can someone give me a guess and give me one pair? Yeah. Angle 4 and angle 5 would be a pair of same. They're on the same side. They're non-adjacent. Ty? Angle 3 and angle 6. So if I ask you for what's the same side as 5 or 4, I would go to 5. If I ask you what's on the same side as 3, I would go to 6. Are you guys ready for the worst definition in the math world? Hold your breath, get ready for it. Corresponding angles lie on the same side of the transversal. Okay, we're same side of the transversal. And in corresponding positions. I hate it. Hate this definition because if I'm trying to explain what corresponding is, why would I use the term corresponding? But this is what's used in every math book. Let's take some guesses. So it has to lie on the same side. It has to lie on this side. So I only have 1, 4, 5, and 8 if I'm looking at the left-hand side. So we could follow that. But then it says it has to be in corresponding positions. I'm going to let you take a shot at guess what would be on the same side. So we have 1, 4, 5, and 8. What would make it corresponding? And if you don't look at the colors, because the colors will show you the answer. Anyone want to take a guess at what would be corresponding there? Yeah.
6 and 3.
6 and 3. 6 and 3 would be same side interior. Love the guess, though. Yeah.
5 and 3.
5 and 3 would be alternate interior because they're both on the interior and they're on opposite sides. So we're looking for something else. Yeah.
1 and 5.
1 and 5 would be corresponding angles. You are correct. Let me circle those real quick. I'm going to throw a circle around it. And then Arson wants to give us something in a second. I'm going to go ahead and list angle 1 and angle 5 are corresponding. Now, here's how I look at corresponding angles. Do you see how 1 is in the top left? I look at the next group. Do you see how that's in the top left as well? That's what they mean by corresponding positions. Top left, top left. Can someone pick out another pair? I know Arson was going to give me one. Yeah.
3 and 7.
3 and 7 would absolutely work. Angle 3 and angle 7. How about I put boxes around 3 and 7? Yeah. 4 and 8 would also, maybe I'll do a triangle around 4 and 8. So angle 4 and angle 8. Who wants to give me that last pair? Yeah.
2 and 6.
2 and 6 would also be. I'm going to put a little star over those. Now note, when we list these, you can't just say 1, 5, 3, 7, 4, 8, 2, 6 are all corresponding angles. You have to list them as pairs. That's why I put that and symbol between them. So if you're on a test and you just list a whole bunch of things together, you can't do that. All these come in pairs. Same sides come in pairs. Alternate interiors come in pairs. Corresponding angles come in pairs. Got all 3 of those? Okay. Let's see if you do. We got a picture. I don't have colors on this time. I'm looking for some same side interior angles. What would be a pair of same side? Oh, hang on. Elmer, I don't think I've heard from you yet.
Angle 7 and angle 6.
Angle 6, you said?
7 and 6.
7 and 6 is correct. Angle 7 and angle 6. They're on the same side, and they're on the interior.
Angle 2 and angle 3.
Angle 2 and angle 3 would also work. Are there any other ones? I don't think so, because we used up all the interior angles, right? Okay, so we're out of interior angles, so that's it. It's just 7 and 6, 2 and 3. Now I'm supposed to name alternate interior angles. Can someone raise their hand and give me a pair? Who haven't I heard from? Yeah, Will.
7 and 3.
7 and 3 would absolutely work. Angle 7 and angle 3 will go right next door.
6 and 2.
6 and 2 is 6 and 2 on opposite sides of the transversal? Yeah, we're good. 6 and 2. Oop, I should put an and behind it, not a comma. Yeah.
No, just for the
Oh, go ahead. We're at corresponding angles now, right? All right, what do you got?
8 and 6.
8 and 6 is correct. Don't even need that slight question mark. And angle 6. Yeah.
Angle 7 and angle 5.
Angle 7 and angle 5, perfect. Angle 7 and angle 5. Is there anyone I haven't heard from yet that would like to give an answer? But I haven't heard from you recently. Alejandro, then I'll call on Santiago. All right, Alejandro first.
Angle 1 and angle 3.
Angle 1 and 3. And then Santiago, did you have the other one?
4 and 2.
4 and 2 works. Now we have to reach back. Vertical angles. Can someone name a pair of vertical angles that are up there? Yeah, Max.
Angle 6 and angle 4.
Angle 6 and 4. Another one. Safar.
Angle 8 and angle 2.
Angle 8 and angle 2. I need another one. You don't get 2 in a row. Or do you have a question? All right, yeah.
Angle 1 and angle 7.
1 and 7. I think there's one more. Yeah, go.
5 and 3.
5 and 3. What's important about vertical angles? They're congruent. You need to know that. You need to know that. All right, now we step it up just a little bit. I give you a whole bunch do you see how there's like a bunch of lines being connected there? I'll be done in a short time. See how there's a bunch of lines being connected here? We have a couple things we need to do because I think we got it. I think if I ask for alternate interior angles, you guys will get it, or same side interior. It's when we step it up like this that gets a little confusing. This says you're supposed to name the 2 lines and the transversal. Well, that's a little bit of a step up. So we have to name 2 lines and the transversal that form each pair of specific angles. Then classify each pair as alternate interior, same side interior, corresponding, or none of these. We're going to go 3 together, and then I'm going to let you try 3 on your own. Guys, pay attention to me now. Pay attention to me now. Are we hearing what I'm saying? When I give you angles and I ask for a transversal and the lines, 99% of you should do what I'm going to do next, and that's highlight the angle. Highlight the angle by shading it in. If you do that, these problems become a lot easier. If you just try to mentally check them, it's not going to work as well. So here's what I mean by that. So I'm talking about angle 7 and angle 11. Watch how I highlight angle 7. So first of all, you may want to put a little mark on angle 7. Now, what forms angle 7? Well, I'll actually draw in angle 7. I just drew the 2 lines that connect angle 7. Now we're going to look at angle 11. I'll put a little dot on angle 11, and I'll do the exact same thing. I'll pick a different color, but you could do it in the same color. I just want to show you, highlight that I'm actually doing that. Your job is to forget about every other line. There's nothing else up there except for what you highlighted. Out of the lines that I highlighted, is there one that connects two lines?
Yeah.
What is that line that connects the two lines? M. Do we see how M is shaded in and connects these two lines together? So M would be my transversal. And the two lines would be the other lines I shaded in, and that is, I can't read that, so it's N and P. Are we good with N and P being the two lines? N and P. What type of angles do those appear to be?
Parallel. Yes. Parallel.
Don't say parallel. We only can say alternate interior, same side, corresponding, or none of those. Are they on the same side of the transversal? Are they both on the interior between the lines? Then it's same side interior. Yes?
Do we have to write the line symbol above the N and the P?
No, you do not, because I'm not using two letters. If you remember back in the day, if it just has a letter here, you can just state the letter. If I'm using 2 points, then you have to put the line above it. On our next one, we're supposed to highlight 14 and 16. So let's put a point on 14. Yeah, do you have a question? Or do you have an answer? Okay, let me highlight it first so everyone has a chance to kind of look at it. So I'm highlighting that angle. And then the other angle is 16. That's here. Let's do that in maybe red. Maybe red wasn't a good choice because there's already red on there. Now, here's something you need to recognize. Do you see this little part of the line? It means I'm talking about this entire line. So either you can picture I'm talking about this entire line, or you can extend this. It's up to you on how you want to do it. I'm going to extend it using kind of a dashed line. So I'm like, yep, I know this line continues in this direction. I know this line, and it's probably red, would handle this direction. Now here's the question. Do we see one line connecting two lines? Is there one line connecting two lines? All right, you had an answer. Were you going to pick the transversal for me?
P is the transversal.
So P is the transversal. Does someone want to name the two lines? Go ahead.
N and P.
N and P. You said N and P?
Yeah.
Now here's my question for you. Did we highlight N and P though?
No.
So we highlighted P, but we said that's a transversal. It's the one connecting. Do you see how we highlighted these lines? Those are going to be the two that are connected. So it's not going to be N and P. Instead, it's going to be L and M. That's why I want you guys to draw that stuff in there. Yeah, Xavier. Yeah, give me 1 second. I'm going to make sure this is correct at L and M. Yeah. Okay, Xavier, you're going to tell me what the angle pair is? It is corresponding. Now, I'm going to show you a little shortcut for corresponding angles. So corresponding angles, we will sometimes just in the future call them CAs for corresponding angles. Does that make sense why I picked the other two lines? You're not sure? Okay, let's talk about that then. So Joseph said this is our transversal. Did you agree that this connected two lines? Now look at the two lines I highlighted. Do you see this one and that one? Do you have them highlighted on your page? Okay. Now we highlighted those because we highlighted this angle and that angle. Does that make sense? Why we highlighted these angles?
Yeah.
As soon as you draw these, it is your job to forget about the rest of the drawing. Everything else disappears. So only what I draw on there exists. I'm only left with L and M then, right? Just like if I would erase everything on this one that I didn't highlight, I would erase this. I would erase this, well, this and this. I'm left with these two lines and this transversal. So it's your job to forget about everything else. Okay? It's a little difficult at times. I agree. Just get in the habit of highlighting those angles when they talk about it. Okay, we're going to do C together. C is highlight angle 4. Angle 4 is this. Now, as a reminder, do we agree that this is angle 4? Are we okay with that? Can we all look up here real quick? I don't care if you're moving forward. Is this angle 4?
Yes.
My advice is, now we know this is angle 4, extend this line. So you know what's being highlighted. So I'll extend this line using kind of dashed symbols to say I'm talking about these lines. You can either make them dashed or you can make them a straight line. I'm just trying to make it accessible to everyone so you can both see the angle and the lines being used. Now it says angle 10. Angle 10 would be, I'm going to do this in red. Now here's going to be the question of the day. Do those two angles look like same side, alternate interior, or corresponding? They're really far away, aren't they? In fact, how many lines do I have highlighted? I have 1, 2, 3, 4. You only can highlight a transversal and 2 lines. Did I do that? Do I just have 1 line connecting 2 lines? Nothing. There is nothing here. I don't have an alternate interior. I don't have a corresponding. I don't have a same side. I have several transversals. I have several lines. This will be a good example of none. I need something else. All right. Based upon those 3, do the next 3. I'm just going to go ahead and continue. All right. I'm going to highlight 3 and 6. Now, I saw people not doing this. Have no idea why. This is the way you get this stuff correct until you're 100% certain. Xavier, do you have a question? Yeah, go ahead. So if I'm talking about 3, I'm actually going to put a dot on 3. Do we all have pencils? So if you make a mistake, you can just erase it. And if we have one drawing for several problems, just do it, erase it, do something else, erase it, so on. So 6 is going to be this angle right here. As a reminder, I could do dashed lines going that direction. That way I have the entire lines highlighted. That's why I put the little dashed lines on the back. All right, and then we have 6. 6 is, I already did 6, didn't I? 3, let's highlight 3. Let's use red for, or let's use green for, let's use blue. All right, so 3 is this angle here. I'll extend this line going this way so I can see it. Can someone tell me the transversal and then also give me the 2 lines? We'll go with you. Yeah. Santiago.
I put the transversal as N.
Okay, I agree with that.
And the lines I put O-M.
And you put O and, we don't have an O.
No, L-M.
Oh, sorry. I thought that's what you meant. L and M. So it's making more sense now, right? That's correct. 100% correct. All right. So based upon his transversal and lines, which I agree with, are these any types of angles? No. Elmer.
Alternate interior?
They are alternate interior angles. I agree with that. These are going to be alternate interior angles because we said this is our transversal. Are they on opposite sides of the transversal? Are they on opposite sides of the transversal?
Yes.
Are they on the interior? Are they between the 2 lines? Yeah. If it helps, turn your sheet. Turn your sheet if you like your lines being kind of parallel to you of sorts. If it helps turning it, do I know if you even turned it? No. Am I going to take points because I see you turning something on a test? No. I love it. Think about it. Think about what's going to make your life easier. All right. Our next one. We have 5. So if I highlight 5. Actually, can someone give me the transversal and the 2 lines and I'll highlight and see if it's correct? Let's go that way. Yeah, Ty. You're going to say they're N and P. Look at that. Everyone look at the screen right now. I have L and N and P. Who agrees? Raise your hand if you agree with Ty right now. Raise your hand if you don't agree. That guy's an idiot. Okay, we'll try one more time. Who thinks they agree? Who agrees with this statement? Okay, we're good. That is correct. Because if I highlight 5, 5 is right here. I'll use the dashed lines to say I'm actually talking about the entire line. Then I have 10. 10, let's go purple. Okay, we definitely have a transversal L, and we're doing N and P. Now remember, Everything else disappears. Everything else should disappear. I know you can't erase it, but you have to find a way everything else does not exist. Okay, so what kind of angles are those then, if any?
Alternate interior.
He says alternate interior. Does anyone disagree with alternate interior? What do you think it is?
Well, it's on the outside of the transversal.
I think it's on the interior, because interior means it's between these two lines. So I agree with interior.
I thought it was the up and down ones, like the traversal,
The transverse?
Yeah.
So we decide whether it's interior, exterior by looking at are we between the two lines or above or below. That's interior and exterior. So those are definitely on the interior. So if we look back at this picture here, so notice the two lines determine your interior and exterior, not your transversal. So we could not have, so if you just picture the transversals gone, you still have an interior, exterior, and exterior. The two lines are what form your interior. Does that make a little more sense? Okay. All right. So who agrees that these are alternate interior angles? Or who disagrees? We'll go with that. You gave it to me. Why are you disagreeing with yourself?
Wait, aren't they on the same thing though?
What was that?
And aren't they in the same interior now?
Yeah, they're the same interior, but are they on opposite sides of the transversal?
Oh, okay.
You just argued with yourself, didn't you?
Why? Because they were at the same interior somewhere.
Alternate interior angles is correct. All right, last one. Last one, you should have highlighted 16. 16 is here. Dot, 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 dot. Dot, 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 dot. And then we have 7. 7 could be highlighted by this line. This time, is there a transversal and two lines? Is there a line connecting two lines? We agree. Does anyone want to raise your hand and tell me what the transversal and the two lines are? Yeah, what do you got?
Transversal is M, and then the two lines are N and P.
Yeah, M and N and P. I don't know about you, but doesn't it make it a lot easier if you just highlight this stuff? You can't get it wrong unless you highlighted it wrong. As long as it's highlighted correctly, you shouldn't get it wrong. All right, these are opposite sides of the transversal, right? So it means they're alternate interior, correct?
Yeah.
We all agree they're alternate interior angles? Pay attention to what I'm saying. Do we all agree these are alternate interior angles?
No.
Yes.
No.
Are they on opposite sides of the transversal?
Yes.
So they're alternate. Are they both interior angles?
No.
No. So they're not alternate interior angles. This is actually like alternate corresponding angles maybe, but we don't have one of those. This we should put none. They're alternate, I agree with that, but they're not both on the interior. To be on the interior, what would be an alternate interior angle to this one? 12 would be correct. What would be a corresponding angle to 16? 8 would be a corresponding angle. Yeah. Thank you, guys. All right. Questions on any of that? Here's my advice. You have to have this down by the next time I see you. That will be Monday. Because on Monday, we're going to throw parallel lines in there. And it's very important that you can pick those out because some of these will be congruent. Some of these will be supplementary. And if you don't know what I mean when I say alternate interior angle, good luck doing alternate interior angles being congruent because you don't even know what an alternate interior angle is. So